Hi there, it's good to see you. How are you? Good. Okay, so you're here for a spray tan. Lovely. Right, so I will just need to take some details from you, please, if that's okay. Now, if you've had one before, we have to take one again, unless, I mean, if it was in the last month, then it'd be a bit different, but yeah, it's just precautionary, we have to, sorry. We do still have your details. If you have had one in recent times, we can find out what shade of spray tan you had. Okay, but I'll just ask you for your details and then you can just feed them back to me, if that's okay. Okay, what's your name, please? I hope my pen works, wouldn't it? Okay. Surname? What's your date of birth, please? Okay. And your address. We have to have your address on file. Just as I've got the name or number and then the postcode. I don't need all the in-between stuff, that's okay. Okay. Let's get a new pen. There we go. Sorry to repeat that last bit for me. Okay. And do you have an email address as well? Okay, just spell it for me then if that's easier, because mine's a difficult one too. Most people can spell it wrong, so that's fine. Okay. Well, that's fine. That's an easy one. That's okay. And phone number? Do you prefer phone number or mobile number? Some people have both, so most people don't have a home number now, so just go mobile. Mobile's easier. Everyone's got a mobile on them, haven't they, typically? Okay. And when did you have your patch test done? Okay. Okay, that's soon enough. That's all right. We ideally like it to be about 24 to 48 hours prior to the spray tan. Just that way you've given the proper amount of time. If it's longer than that, if it's a week, that's okay, but when it gets to sort of always been a month, we'd like to do it again ideally, but it's personal preference, you don't have to. If you choose to not have a patch test done, then we do require you to sign the document just to say that you don't want to have one. Just think, we're covering your entire body with this product. If you have a reaction, it's going to be a bad one. Plus, you know, you're breathing it in. It's, yeah. Insurance-wise, we're usually required to perform a patch test. How would you prefer us to contact you? We can do text, email, or post. We don't really do post. It is on the form here, but we don't tend to do post, just because it's far more costly. Email's usually a good one. Yeah, okay. And text we'd usually do just to inform you of an offer or like an appointment reminder, but our system already does that anyway, so we don't really do a separate one for spray tans. But okay. I will just need you to sign and date that at the bottom, but firstly there's just a few more questions I have for you, if that's okay. Have you had any surgery or received medical treatment in the last 12 months? Okay. And when did you last wax or shave? Perfect. No, it needs to be about 24 hours before, just the pores have had a chance to close up. We wouldn't recommend shaving or waxing for at least a week after your spray tan because it's just going to remove it. So, do you suffer from any respiratory problems? Like asthma or anything like that? Right, okay. A lot of people suffer from asthma. Some people it's worse than others. If it's really severe asthma, we would advise that you do not go ahead with this treatment. Some people, even if it is mild, you know, we would advise not to, but it's down to the person. Are you pregnant or breastfeeding? Okay. You can have spray tans when you're pregnant. Usually if it's the first trimester we say no, mainly again down to insurance, just because there's no actual proven science, if you like, behind a spray tan causing a miscarriage or anything like that. But if you're in your first trimester and you did lose the baby and you had just had a spray tan, you would potentially connect the two together, and therefore, you know, it can just cause problems. And it's not the spray tan, but you know, it's just that it's just not worth the risk. But there is also that chance when you're pregnant, your hormones can change, then you can find yourself allergic to things that you never were allergic to before. There's just lots of reasons, and it's just safer and easier to just blanket no. Some salons will not perform any spray tans at any point in a pregnancy, but most places will do it after 3 months. So it's just down to the individual and the individual salon. If you're breastfeeding, that's okay. I have performed spray tan on somebody that is breastfeeding, not literally at the time. But we just advise sort of covering up the breast area as opposed to having a lot of people do it topless. Mainly because when you then breastfeed the baby is likely to get tan on their face. So we do advise covering up that area. Okay. Right, what's the next one? Have you any skin or pigmentation disorders? Okay, so areas of scarring, they might find it harder to tan. It won't take the tan like the rest of your skin will, just because of the way the skin's healed up and the fact that, you know, just scar tissue in general just doesn't like it. It can get darker. It can cover it or disguise it. It's probably the better way to put it to you. But okay, is your skin hypersensitive? I suppose if you've got things like eczema, things like that, we wouldn't like to put tan over things like eczema or open irritations like that, just because it can make things worse or just irritate them. If you're prone to it but you haven't got anything at the moment, that we'd just say that's okay. Have you any known allergies? Okay. I will just need to double check that. Some of the products have nuts in. I think their new formulas have tried to cut out things like sort of nut related things, but some of the more moisturising spray tans do actually contain I think it's macadamia, things like that. So they smell really nice but also have a beneficial effect on the skin. I will just double check that one. Have you any open cuts, wounds or rashes on your skin anywhere? Okay. Have you recently had any body piercings or tattoos? It has to have been at least 6 weeks since your last tattoo. Okay, that's good. If you had one in the last 6 weeks, we would want to be covering it up. The only issue with covering it up is that you're then likely to have a nice line, because we probably have to use a plaster, and that would leave a nice square edge, and it's not great. So yeah, that's not advisable really. Depends on where the tattoo is, obviously, as well. So, do you wear contact lenses? Okay, we would just ask you to take them out. Just sometimes, I mean, it should be fine. But if we spray the face, you close your eyes anyway. But you never know, chemical reactions, things like that's just not worth the risk. Okay, have you recently had any Botox or fillers? No. Do you have bleached hair? Well, I get you to wear a hairnet anyway. The risk with having bleached hair is that obviously spray tan is a form of dye. It can react with the bleach in your hair and cause it to go usually a sort of greeny colour. Yeah, not desired. Same way as your eyebrows, if you've had your eyebrows bleached or anything like that. Not that you would typically have your eyebrows bleached, I don't think. But just have to put it to you. Likewise with any tinting, if you've had an eyelash tint or an eyebrow tint, we would need to leave it 24 hours between treatments, because of the fact that eyelash tinting or brow tinting is a different form of tint. So again, we don't know what chemical reactions can happen. It can either cause it to go funny colour, or it can react, and I mean, worst case, it cause burns, but that's not likely to happen because, yeah, it's just the fact that it can go funny colours. It can react if you had it immediately after the other. You know, the chemicals can react and cause unpleasant smells and things like that. It's just not. We're required to leave it 24 hours in between. Have you applied moisturiser or deodorant today? When you arrange the appointment, they should have given you advice on what you need to do before the appointment. Okay, good, right. So things like moisturisers and deodorants, you don't want any form of moisturiser on your skin because of the fact that it can stop the tan from absorbing it because of the oils. You should have exfoliated, yes, like 24 hours before, sort of exfoliated, shaved, and then left your skin kind of thing. You want to exfoliate because you want to get rid of any of the dead skin, otherwise it can just sort of cling to dead skin and it doesn't look very nice. But deodorants, especially or perfumes, big no-no, because again, it's a barrier, but you're likely to go green under your arms and things like that. So if you have, we have got sort of exfoliating wipes that we can give to you that will remove said deodorant if you have any of that on, or moisturiser, or makeup. We did say no makeup. It looks like you might have a little bit of makeup on. It's still a moisturiser. Tinted moisturiser still has the same oils and things in it, so we do need to take that off. Unless you're not worried about having your face tanned. It's up to you. Okay. Right. Have you got loose dark clothing for after your tan? Perfect. Lovely. Is the tan for a special occasion? Oh, very nice. Where are you off to? Oh, gosh, jealous. Have a lovely time. Have you had a spray tan or used self-tanning products before? Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, they've got an excellent range of Aftercare products as well. So we do have a little gift set for you today, which does include, it gives you Aftercare advice, but it also does give you a free bottle of self-tanning lotion. You can take that on your holiday and then you can keep your tan topped up. That'd be lovely. You say you've had a spray tan before. What was your experience like? Okay. Oh, okay. And what sort of tan would you like to achieve today? Yeah, nothing too. Well, this is the good thing about the NRX spray tans, right? You see, the tan will only ever go as dark as your skin will allow you to. It's not the easiest one to explain. So basically, there's sugars in the DHA which react with the amino acids in your skin. So when oxygen then reacts with it as well, that's what makes your skin go darker. Right, okay. So yeah, basically, I suppose you don't know how dark your own skin would go, but yeah, there's different percentages. I mean, you've had one before. Okay, so it's a different brand. They're all very similar anyway. I suppose they do have different ways of working. I think Saint Tropez, they have sort of 3 or 4 different shades. CNRX has different percentages, so we have 6%, 8%, 10%, 12%, and 14 and 16%, I believe. So for me, for example, I'm very pale. I personally don't like to look too tanned. I just like a natural sort of, I suppose you'd class it as a sun-kissed glow, if you like. So I'd probably choose a 6%. Could probably get away with an 8%, but I would probably only choose a 6%. That product then you leave on for about 8 to 10 hours, and then you'd want to shower it off. So you would look considerably darker once you've been sprayed, which might be quite alarming. However, that is just the guide colour. Once you shower it off, you should be left with a nice glow. And even once you've showered it or rinsed it off, it is still going to be sort of oxygenating, basically. So then you are going to be getting a little bit darker. We do have the option of an express tan. How this works is that that hasn't got a set colour to it, a set percentage. We spray that on, you leave that on for 1 to 3 hours, depending on how dark you want to go. Now, I've had an express one before and I left that on for, I think I left that about 3 hours, mainly because I'd been on a course with another brand, just through circumstance, and they did an express tan on me. It took me about 2-3 hours to get home. I then washed the spray tan off, was extremely dark. Obviously that was the guide colour, rinsed that off, and I wasn't as dark as the guide colour, but I was still considerably darker than I wanted or was comfortable with. So future, if I was to have an express spray tan, I would only leave that on for at most an hour, because I was very dark. Okay, so, oh yeah, what tan would you like to achieve? So, I mean, for you, you have got a lovely warmth to your skin anyway. So it's just down to how dark you want to go. Like, I mean, you're going on holiday, so you are going to achieve a tan whilst you're on holiday anyway. That's why people like to get spray tanned before they go. You don't go on holiday looking obviously pale, which some people really just don't like. So yeah, it just gives you that. You feel like you've been on holiday already for a little while. You feel more confident, I suppose. And then as your holiday progresses, your tan starts to sort of come away, but by which point you're already tanning from being on holiday. It's extremely important to remember that this spray tan does not contain any SPF whatsoever. You cannot have this spray tan and think, oh, it's okay, I'm already tanned, it's on my skin, it's going to protect me. So it doesn't have any sun protection in it whatsoever. Likewise with the Aftercare products as well, the self-tan lotions, they don't have SPFs in them. So it is vital that you apply an SPF whilst you're away, because just because your skin has tanned, it's not built up any sun protection or barrier to the sun at all. Okay, so I just really have to express that to you. How well do you tan in the sun? Right, okay. Well, like I said, you've got a nice glow nice warmth to you at the moment anyway, so I can tell that you obviously pick up the sun quite naturally anyway. Right. When you've had tans before, did you go particularly dark? Okay. So, I mean, okay. Well, I suppose it just depends on where you go on holiday, and depends how much your skin sees the sun on an everyday basis. So, like for me, I stay very covered up. I'm working inside every day. I very rarely go outside anyway. I mean, it's Britain, so we don't have a lot of sun, and when we do see sun, it's not very strong. So when I go on holiday, it takes me a while. I don't burn, fortunately. I mean, I would obviously if I'm very careful in that sense, but you know, I can go out in the sun for the day, and not that I spend the whole day in the sun because I don't like it, but I don't burn, but it takes me a long time to tan. Do you have any questions? Okay. That's a good one. So when I'm actually doing the spray tan, so if you've had one before, then it's much the same. The machine is very noisy, so just so you know what to expect. We do have a big extractor fan attached to the spray tanning machine, so that can be quite overwhelming if you're not good with loud sounds. But it's just a generally loud machine, but we need it to get rid of the sort of particles in the air. It's not healthy to be breathing in for too long, but you won't be, because the whole spray tan itself should only take a matter of about 5 minutes. It shouldn't need to take any longer than that, so round about that sort of time. It could feel cold, as the machine hasn't been switched on today yet. You are the first. It will feel cold on your skin, so it can be a bit alarming, but it's okay, don't panic. It will feel wet on the skin. I'll usually do 2 coats just to make sure we've covered everything. In certainly more problematic areas, or areas that you know are going to be on show and you really want to make sure they're covered. So it can feel wet on the skin. I will go over afterwards with the detaching the actual gun part and with the warm air. By that point it'll be warm, to kind of give you a bit of a dry off. Some people don't like having their face sprayed. They do it because they want it all to sort of blend in and match. But when the face is sprayed, you do have to close your eyes. I'll get you to take a deep breath, so I can do a few sprays. I'll then get you to release, take another deep breath and turn your head. I'll then spray that side and get you to release, deep breath, turn the other way, and then spray the other side. I do generally only spray the face just the once, because people don't like it, and you're going to wear makeup on your face anyway. The amount of times you wash your face on a daily basis, it's not going to last as long anyway. Plus you've even got to match your foundation. It's all very, so not to stress you out or anything like that. Okay, right, let's just check there's nothing on this side. Do you know what sort of shade you had last time? Just by any chance, even if it's a different brand. Now see. Well, I suppose. When are you? Let's see what the time is now. Okay. I feel like maybe an express would be better for you, because like I said, it's 1 to 3 hours. After 3 hours, if you leave it on, it's not doing anything anyway. It's only active for those 3 hours. So it's just 8 to 10 hours is a very long time. A lot of people don't like that, because it can feel a bit, I don't know, gross on your skin after a period of time. You feel uncomfortable and a bit like, I just want to get this off of me now. So 8 to 10 hours is a long time. We say 8 to 10 so you can wash it off at least 8 hours, but after 10 it's not doing anything basically. So I mean, you can sleep in it, however there is that risk it would transfer onto your sheets, and people don't like that. The smell of it on your skin, as much as it's nice, and we've got the ingredients in the formulas to make it smell like quite pleasant, if you're then sleeping in it, it can start to release just not an unpleasant smell, just, I don't know, it's just not a desirable smell. You know what I mean, you've had one before, sorry. I'm thinking 1 to 3, and then shower it off sort of as and when you're ready. It's important to not, like I said, not follow the guide colour. So in those 3 hours, if you look in the mirror after half an hour and think, oh my god, I've got to take it off, it's too dark, it's not going to be that colour. It's just the guide colour that you can see getting darker. Your skin underneath will not be, and I think you'd be unhappy. I think for you, probably leave it on for 2 hours. I'd say about 2. I mean, some people think, no, I'll just go that bit darker. So 2.5, 3 hours. I just feel like 3 hours is probably going to be too long for you. I feel like you'd be a little bit uncomfortable with just how dark it's gone. It shouldn't go orange. It would never go orange, no. It just gets darker and darker. But it can just make it look a little on the unnatural side. I'm going to say express for 2 hours. You don't, in that time, whilst it's still sort of taking this to the skin in those 2 hours, you don't want to be doing anything that's going to produce sweat, so you don't want to be doing any sort of physical activities. Try not to sort of sit down for too long, or I mean, at the end of the day, it's on the skin anyway, but I just think you don't want sort of the creases of your fabric printed on the back of your leg. Like that shouldn't happen anyway, but it's just that I wouldn't try and avoid, like I said, sitting down for too long, or like lounging on the sofa, or going for a nap or something, again because of your sheets as well. But I mean, that 2 hours will go pretty quickly anyway, so, and you don't want to like go out in the rain, things like that. I suppose that's more of an obvious one, but just to bear in mind. Okay, let's rest it for 2 hours. I'll just sign that, so okay that. I just need you, if you can, just to sign this at the bottom for me. Okay. Okay, right. What I'll do, I'll just go through the manual with you if you like. You seem a little bit nervous, so I'll just put your mind at rest. If it will just help you make you feel a little bit better. So we've got, this is the training manual here. I'm not going to show you, you don't need to see the ins and outs of everything that's in there. I can tell you a bit about the ingredients if you like. So it's got DHA, which is dihydroxyacetone. This is the main active ingredient in self-tanning products. It does not give you a real tan with protective melanin, but it can create the appearance of browning skin. The action of DHA is limited to the upper layers of the skin and involves a reaction between DHA, skin proteins and oxygen. The sugar in the DHA reacts with the amino acids on our skin with oxygen, turning our skin brown. It lasts 5 to 7 days if the top layer sheds itself. Solution needs to be left on for at least 8 hours for a full reaction. A good example, here we go, okay, this might help you understand it a little better. A good example is if you take a bite out of an apple and leave it exposed to air for a few hours, it starts to turn brown. Sunless tanning works in a similar way to that of our skin. So it says about how long it lasts, which we did talk about a little. So it lasts 5 to 7 days, depending on your lifestyle and how you maintain your tan as well. So we'd usually say after about 5 days you want to be exfoliating your skin just to help the tan sort of come off gradually and naturally. If you don't, particularly in things like your elbow crease or your wrists, particularly sort of the crevices in your hands, things like that, it can start to get a little patchy. So by exfoliating, that's going to help it sort of come away naturally and sort of fade away, basically. And again, you want to be moisturising and things, but you can be using a tinted moisturiser, or what have we got in here? A gradual self-tan lotion. Okay, that's your free aftercare product. So just by applying that after exfoliating will help your skin tan whilst also get rid of the fake one naturally. Okay, here we are. Skin types and which tans to use. So there's 4 different types. I would put you probably in the category of skin type 2, which I'll probably put myself in that as well, even though you are, clearly you've got a little bit more colour naturally to your skin anyway. Skin type 1 is for people that are extremely fair and blonde, or like sort of ginger hair, so their skin is very, very pale and they naturally would burn in the sun. So skin type 2, It suggests it's very light brown with some freckles sometimes. I have got a couple. They tend to come out in the sun. I only have very few. I feel like I have less now than I did when I was a child, actually. I don't know whether that's... Never looked into that. Eye colour, blue, green, hazel. Well, I have a combination of all three of those. So. Sensitive to sun, tans minimally, sometimes burns. Okay, that sounds fairly accurate. But I can tan very well, as opposed to tanning minimally. It says Caucasian. So Sienna X Professional Solution suggests 8%, 10% or 1 hour. No, I'm still going to say up to 2 hours for you, because I almost question... Let's see your eyes. See what they hazel brown. Yeah, see that's under skin type 3. Light brown. Yeah, so maybe you're a light brown as opposed to a very light brown. Okay, skin type 3. Interesting. Yeah, so there it says then 10%, 12% or 1 hour. Oh, 2 hours, sorry. That's an error. Okay. Okay, here we are. 1 hour spray tan solution. Due to advanced tan intensifiers, the Sienna X signature colour hits you after just 1 hour. Then you can wash it off and watch it develop over the next 2 to 4 hours. Designed for people who want to look gorgeous without sitting around in tan for hours. It's no fuss, it works, and it's packed with Sienna X skin moisturising ingredients. Okay, let's just see what other information I can give you on this. We've been through the pre-treatment, consultation, contraindications. Aftercare will be at the end, I'd imagine. Right. Okay, so here we have a list of the multi-benefit ingredients. Or just a few of the ingredients that are found in the products. Okay, so there's more than this, but these are the main ones. So there's aloe vera, organic aloe vera, sorry, apple fruit extract. I'm not going to read through all of them because there's a lot here. I'll just pull out a few. Obviously hyaluronic acid, lemongrass, rosehip oil, which replenishes dry and damaged skin, restores natural healthy glow. Sweet almond oil nourishes skin, restores elasticity and smoothness. Vitamins A and E, antioxidant vitamins that help protect against the signs of aging. So that is very beneficial. I'm not seeing... I mean, there's sweet almond oil, so if you're allergic to almonds, that could be problematic. But most of it is oils. But you don't have a problem with it? Oh, perfect. That's okay then. So the aftercare products that you can purchase, which potentially could be beneficial to you. Polishing body scrub. It removes and polishes off dead skin cells and body oils, enabling the skin surface to be thoroughly cleansed and ready for a sunless tan application. There's a whole list of things there, just to pick out the important part. pH balance face and body wash. Fabulously rich and moisturising, this ultra mild gel won't strip your sunless tan. That's an interesting point. So yeah, might want to be careful over what products you use normally if you're worried about your face tan. Radiance Body Balm, a perfectly balanced moisturising body butter containing luxurious natural ingredients to help prolong and enhance a sunless tan. Gradual Glowing Self Tan, which is a rich and luxurious moisturising cream with 4% DHA, used to prolong your Sienna X spray tan or to gradually build up a natural sun-kissed look. There's a Q10 Self Tan Tinted Mist. There's a Tinted Mousse, which is also the same. It's got the Q10. Deep Self Tan Tinted Lotion. 1 hour Self Tan Tinted Lotion. I've got no prices here, sorry. 1 hour Self Tan Tinted Mist. and the same but in a mousse, and a secret tan primer. For that professional touch, the Sienna X Tan Primer enables you to create flawless tans at home without any telltale signs. So the primer you'd want to apply in creases and sort of drier patches of skin. I need to step out your, we call it barrier cream. It doesn't stop the tan from actually working on those areas, but it just helps moisturise them so that it absorbs in a way that it's not just going to cling to the really dry bits of skin. It just helps create a flawless effect. Right, let's see. We don't need that page. That's interesting. Aftercare, here we go. I missed that, sorry. So after treatment, you don't want to do any excessive exercise, perspiration or getting wet immediately after the spray tan, as this will affect the finished result. Try not to soak in the bath or go swimming, as this can fade the tan prematurely. Chlorine is especially harsh on the skin, as it will cause fading. Do not have shower or bath water too hot, as this can decrease the length of the tan, mainly because it opens your pores and then it just, remember that the tan does not have any SPF factor, and to wear sun protection as usual. Oil-free SPF is if possible. Sorry, I didn't tell you that part. Do not rub the skin too harshly after washing. Simply pat dry with a towel, because again, that's just going to remove it. Moisturise daily with Radiance Body Balm to enhance and prolong your tan. Use Sienna X Gradual Glowing Self Tan after a few days, rubbing in carefully and evenly for a long, deeper colour. Remember to wash your palms after use. Good point, because you don't want to have horrendously dark hands. It does not match the rest of your body, because then they could go a bit orangey as well. Recommend that your client starts lightly exfoliating after 4 to 5 days to encourage even fading. Right. Okay, I think it's falling apart. That's everything I have in here for you. And I mean, would you like to go through your goodie bag? Okay. So in here we have, there's it's just a flyer. That is just, I mean, it's telling you to book your bridal tan today, but it has actually got the list. It's got quite good information actually, talking about the benefits of Sienna X Tan, how to look after it before and after. So yeah, it's just good information for your tan. Regardless of whether you're getting married or not, it was still beneficial to you. And oh, you don't need that. Do you need that part? Oh yeah, okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I'll give that to you. That's basically everything I've just gone through actually just now. In here it's got advice like aftercare, pre-care, but it's also got a list of products that you can purchase, the ones I discussed with you, but it's got prices and everything like that in it, so it's all useful. Here we have some underwear. Now this you don't have to wear, it's up to you completely, depends on whether you're worried about lines. So they're quite revealing, as you can see. They're it's like a G-string basically, so it's up to you. Some people don't like to wear them because it's can make it a bit uncomfortable. It's just whether you're happy to get your own sort of underwear or bikini bottoms but get tan on them, but it should come off in the wash anyway, it shouldn't be a problem. So most people tend to wear their own, but again, like with this, it's very discreet and it avoids lines, tan lines and things like that. Where were we? So, I'll leave them for you, like you can get yourself ready for those bits, so I'll leave you on your own. Here we have a hairnet. Some people aren't worried about wearing hairnets either, even if they've got really dark hair, but I mean, I would always suggest it because it's not going to get in your hair. I can put this on you now. You can see it's not unattractive. It's it's not the best thing, but it's could be worse. I'll start at the back. You can nicely put your hair in a ponytail for me. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Make sure we get it over. Oh, sorry, let's see. Trying to make sure we've got all your little bits of hair in there too. Okay, I think that's got it all. Okay. I'm just going to come around and make sure I've got all the little bits behind as well. Okay. That looks about fine. Okay. Lovely. Right, I'll just show you the come with a little chocolate as well, which is lovely. Right, this is the gradual self-tan lotion we have for you. Directions, it says, rub in evenly using latex-free gloves or a self-tan mitt. Your tan will develop in 8 hours. Shower, pat dry, and repeat for a deeper colour. And it's got a whole list of ingredients there, which I think you should be fine with. Doesn't look as though there's nothing in bold. It says please recycle when empty, so that's good that it's recyclable. Okay, yeah, so that's for you. Right, so did you want the undies or are you happy on your own? Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'll leave them on the couch for you. You can have a choice. Right, there is a robe on the side. I'll let you just get changed into that. I'll just give you some time, okay? Okay, lovely. All your hair nets. Let me just put these gloves on now. Oh, I do have a badge, yeah. I think that's from my training. At least you know I'm qualified. I'm just going to readjust that slightly because it's just bothering me ever so slightly. It's just be where you've taken your top off and put your robe on. Okay. Yeah, that looks alright. I think that's fine. Okie doke. Okay. Right. I just need to put some barrier cream on you now. So I'm applying barrier cream to your elbows, your knees. When I apply it to your knees, I just need you to bend your knees ever so slightly, just to make it easy to make sure I can really rub it in. I'll also be applying it to your heels and your toes, and then I'll get you to pop your hands out for me, and I'll be applying it to the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, and between your fingers. There's a bit of a hand massage in there if you like. But yeah, that's it, okay? Right, let me just get that for you. I like to wear gloves at this point because of the fact that it just makes you feel more protected, doesn't it? You're a bit more exposed now, and most people prefer it. It's just in the that's what we're trained to do. Okay, that should be enough to do everything now. Right, if I just have your elbow, please. on this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to do your knees. So if you just bend your knees for me a little, thank you. And then the heels of your feet. Lovely. Right, I'll just have your hands. Thank you. And turn it over. Just do around your cuticles and things like that. Your nails look amazing. Lovely. Okay. Did you take your deodorant off as well? I literally leave the wipes out for you. Good. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And turn that over. Perfect. Okay. Looks like you're all set to go. Okay. Right. Well, I'll take you through, and we can do a spray tan. All right. Perfect. Okay. How was that? I'm just going to take this off now. Okay. I'll take these off as well. Right. No, I had to wear the mask. Sorry, it's only because I do spray tans all the time, so if I'm breathing it in every day, multiple times a day, it's just not good for me. But having it one off, it's not going to harm you, okay? So don't worry, don't be alarmed. Right, I'm just going to take this off of you now, okay? Okay, lovely. So just put them in the bin. Right now, so I'll just leave you to get yourself changed. I'll leave your Aftercare product at the counter, so when you pay at the end we can sort it all out then. Okay, alright, are you happy with everything? Do you feel good? I mean, you look amazing. It looks really good on you. It's actually worked really nicely. Going over once on your face, it does blend well into the neck. I think 2 hours max. Hour and a half, 2 hours. It's up to you. I really wouldn't do it any more than 2. But yeah. Okay. Right, so I'll leave you to get yourself sorted and just come through when you're ready. Okay.